The sound of the final buzzer means it's hangover time. So grab a drink and join your host, Alphonse Sidney, for a Miami Heat Beat postgame show.
Sick of fucking year 7, man. Sick of watching over year 7. How many minutes? You get 20 minutes tonight. Every fucking one of those minutes was agonizing for me. Heat lose. Anyway, I thought there's going to be an L coming in. I would have liked it to be more competitive. I would have liked to see, I'm not going to bag on my guys Strus and Vincent and KZ. Those are role players, and role players play better at home. On the road, you needed guys like Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson to step up, and they didn't. Even if they did, this was going to be a difficult game to win. I don't know. Like, sometimes I get mad. I'm like, why is Spo playing these guys? And I'm like, Spo don't got nobody to play. And it's like, it's one of these games that's hard to, like, analyze. It's hard to get mad at people. But, I mean, if you're going to get mad at anybody tonight, I would look Tyler and Duncan, square in the face, dog, like Greg Sylvander used to say on the Miami Heat Beat podcast, and ask why you out here going 1 for 10 from 3?
His name's Leif.
Right? What? Oh, sorry,
Leif.
Yeah, we don't call him Greg on this show. Why are you going 1 for 10 from 3? Like, what is that? Like, Kyle Lowry's out here playing 38 minutes again. Like, God, this is not good, right? Like, this is bad. Like, there's too many games. Kyle Lowry's at 38, 39, 40 minutes, and we're losing these games. I'm like, you might as well just throw the fourth quarter if we're going to do that shit. Anyways, I'm Alphonse Sidney, a.k.a. Alf954. Welcome into the Miami Heat Beat postgame show, Hangover Time. Go ahead and bring me out G. Brass is not with us tonight. Unfortunately, Gianni is controlling the show, so
let's hope I don't fuck up like last time.
Everything that goes wrong is his fault.
Yeah, totally.
Everything that goes wrong. G, your first task. Oh, by the way, thank you for everybody watching live on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, it's more fun to watch us live and chat in the chat live, twitch.tv/Miami Heat Beat. But if you are watching the replay on YouTube, we love you as well. Go ahead and hit that like and hit that subscribe button. And for your first task today, G, let's find out what everybody's drinking. We've already lost Fez, one of our best viewers, because G is controlling the show. I'll start, and already G doesn't have the little lounge music playing in the background.
I don't have the music, and
we on some low budget shit tonight.
Yeah, I need Brass to send me that, so I'll try to do it. I'll
Siobhan, you're gonna have to carry the show tonight.
All right, I see what I got.
Stretch out.
I'm like Duncan Robinson. I need Jimmy and Bam, aka Brass, to make me look good. You have me out here trying to handle the ball and shit.
Hold me up.
I be looking.
Hold me up, Siobhan. Hold me up.
I got you. Come here, dog.
Somebody asked if Spo's wasting PJ's prime. Yes, he is.
Yes. He is. God damn it.
I'm drinking vodka and Sprite, Tito's. Y'all know how I get down. G, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm not whipping out today. I got a gin and tonic. I'm in Brass's role, so
I hope you're not whipping out.
I gotta have a drink. I mean, the last couple times I've just been having tea.
Oh no, you said whipping.
You said whipping. Okay.
Oh, you about to whip something out?
I said wimping out.
Oh, I thought you said whipping out.
Enunciate that.
I was about to say, yeah, you gotta. You
No.
gotta.
This ain't this kind of show.
No. I don't want to upset the good folks at Twitch.tv.
Wimping.
What about us?
We're a family
show. What about us?
You showed nipples on this show before, and
Listen,
a lot of people are scarred by this.
Yeah.
Siobhan, what are you drinking tonight?
I don't even know. I didn't even make a drink. I got a ginger beer in front of me. It's non-alcoholic. Yep. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Pop the top.
Tiff, what you drinking tonight?
Slang over it, gross.
Oh, you gonna whip it out, slang it. Oh, right. Tiff, I'll come back to you later. You need some time.
Jay said he talks like he types.
I do.
Carla Tiana says ho ho ho. Honestly, G, I want to go right into who kicked our ass. Like, let's just go right into it.
Truly one of a kind imaging.
They kicked our ass.
I miss Kelly and Goron in that little imaging. That was fun.
Kelly was my favorite because he just looked goofy. Like,
I'm going to go ahead and take the first one. And I'm not going to go for the obvious because Kevin Love just kicked her. Every time we play Kevin Love, it's like 2011 for some reason. Like, he just turns into this monster. This motherfucker Okoro, like, hitting baseline threes, corner threes off the backboard, just out hustling, out bodying, out muscling. Like, this is the kind of game where you miss Caleb Martin. And I it's a weird thing to say. Of course, we miss Jimmy.
Look at where we landed.
Look where we are.
No. Of course,
life
we
comes
miss
at you
Jimmy.
fast.
You miss Jimmy. You miss Bam. You miss Keith. You miss Vic. All right. So you miss, but a night like tonight, and you want to be scrappy and fast and try to you miss a guy like Caleb Martin because the athleticism difference was off the chain tonight.
Right.
So
like you're watching Garland and all these guys just. I mean, you're like, oh my God, I hope KZ can stop Garland. That is a fucking shitty place to be. Where you're like, I hope KZ can stop Garland. Go ahead, G. Who kicked our ass tonight?
So kind of to your point about Isaac Okoro, he's shooting 24% from 3 on the season. He was 4 of 8 today. Yeah, no, Siobhan, I thought of you the second I saw that. You know, just look, I know how you feel, but you know, for some of us, it's just a classic case of the random scrub heat killer. I'm going Jaren Allen. Alf. I thought that game looked pretty good until the second quarter, and I had said in pregame, you know, the Cavs offense falls off a cliff when Garland sits, and I thought Allen was unreal for them today, and I thought he was the one that really blew that game open, and Miami was trailing ever since that moment. They were up. Allen. You know, Garland sits, Allen comes in, Dedmon is a little too slow, you know, and then that game just completely blew apart. It was probably the worst I've seen Miami defend roll-man all year. It was pretty, like, straight up pathetic. But, man, Allen I still can't believe Cleveland stuck in that trade and got him for, like, nothing. It's just...
That was Brooklyn. I cannot. When I saw that,
Houston should be ashamed of themselves.
And he was the throw-in. He was the throw-in.
Houston didn't want him. Houston wanted Vic, who's not there anymore, and the Pacers wanted LeVert, who has been awful this season. And this dude, Jared Allen, is playing at an all-star level.
Man, G, you brought up that second quarter. I will say, like, it's so far outside of the second quarter, the Heat outscored the Cavs by 2. That second quarter, like, just completely did them in.
And it was halfway through it because it was when Garland sat and Jared Allen went crazy and then he couldn't score.
And, like, we've been talking about this a lot, Siobhan. I'm going to get your who kicked our ass. But, man, when this Heat team goes down double digits and you don't have Captain Save him and Jimmy, and now you're like KZ Akpala is out there shooting corner threes trying to get you back in it, it looks really, really fucking bad. Go ahead, Siobhan. Who kicked our ass tonight?
I'm going to take Lowry Markkanen. I like him. I like his size, his ability to stretch it, and I watched him put Mr. Dedmon and Duncan in the cup a couple times, 2-on-1, just pretty, like real, like not too much effort with it, just beautiful. But yes, like you said, when they get down big, it's a tough ass hill, which is. So I have a bit of issue with, like, when Kyle decides to turn it on. I'm like, we needed that steadily throughout the first half. But I'm going to take Lowry Markkanen.
Kyle had a bad second quarter, but he also didn't play a lot in the second quarter, and that's when the Heat kind of got ran over. He scored 7 in the first quarter, didn't score in the second quarter, and that's when the Heat got ran over. And that's when you would hope guys like, oh, where'd Bond go?
I know.
You would hope guys like Tyler and Duncan would step up a little bit, and they didn't. I thought Duncan did a lot of little nice things tonight, but at the end of the day, none of that shit matters. Like and Siobhan was talking about Lowry putting him in the cup. I actually thought he did decent against Lowry, but you can only if you do decent against Lowry, like you have to score on the other end for any of it to fucking matter. Like you can't come out of the game without Bam and Jimmy, score 6 points, miss 2 out of 3 free throws. Like that ain't gonna cut it. Tiff, who kicked their ass tonight?
I mean, I
go
guess
with
I
Kevin
go.
Love. Nobody else said it.
No, I ain't gonna go. I'm gonna go. That's obvious. I might as well just go with. I'm gonna stack it up. I'm gonna go with Duncan, Tyler, KZ. Like
Max,
Max. Yeah.
Tiffany, you know when you playing Uno and you put 4 of the same color.
I'm stacking it. I'm making
draw two.
And then smack you with the draw 4.
Do they have a white?
She just getting it out of her hand. Take this blue 2, take this red 2, this green 2.
Running to Boston. This is they just didn't. But it's what I've been harping on all season. Win or lose, just have some consistency with your shots and your shot selection. Like, listen, if you don't have the shot, you don't have to force it up between 2 people. Reverse the ball and start all over. Like, we just get it so frenetic sometimes that it's like you forget who the veterans are and who the rookies are on this team.
I want to say something about that because this kind of pissed me off too, because I thought that some of our guys were attacking at the basket. I thought PJ did a good job of kind of rolling, getting in the paint. I thought Kyle, another game where he was getting his dribble into the paint. And Miami shot like 4 free throws. They were 5 for 9 from the line. And Cleveland was 17 for 18. And 3 of those free throws were off a Duncan 3. I don't, it's just something I noticed. And like, I think that's for sure a road game thing. And maybe some weird officiating, but
road game and you don't have any stars.
Road game and Kyle kind of finesses, contact sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not getting actual things that should be called fouls on him.
I don't always agree with that, but there were I think half of it is and half of it isn't. A lot of the time, yeah, but I think when he like today is drawing help, and every time that corner man, whether it was KZ or PJ, and PJ hit all his shots today. But when KZ was that corner man, that help came quick, and that's length because KZ was playing 4 and 5, and it just made those passes tough. And he even got him to them, but KZ didn't hit shit. So
no, and he did a good job. After he had some early turnovers, he did a good job getting the ball out once the double came to him. Here's the thing: like realistically, just because you open, you don't have to shoot it. Especially if you bobble it when you catch it. You don't have to, I don't understand why they feel the need to just throw it up there. You don't have to. Hold it, take a dribble, reverse it.
Who do you think shot threes they shouldn't have? I honestly thought most of it, I'm looking at tonight, PJ, Kyle, and Gabe all shot over 50% from 3, and we ended the game at 32%. Like, I thought guys were taking shots they should have been taking. Like, the only shot that Duncan Robinson made was one that he shouldn't have took. Like, they were taking shots they should have took. They just were not hitting at all, man.
But a lot of them that they should have been taking, they weren't catching the ball in the right positions. They were getting the ball off their feet and going up. You don't take those shots unless the shot clock is down. But when you got 15 seconds, you don't take off your shoelace and just hoist it up there. There's no reason to do that.
Well, I think Spo has been telling them. I think Spo thinks their only way to win these games is how they won the last 2, like record-setting 3-point
and how
shooting.
fucking consistent.
But it's not gonna. Yeah, but that's only gonna take you like it took us 2 out of 3.
But what I'm saying is, right now, 2 out of 3 for this team is excellent without Jimmy and Bam. They're not going to win these games without. They need to be shooting 45% from 3, and they need to be shooting with volume to win games right now because they don't have guys that can score inside outside of Dedmon.
They're not talented enough without Jimmy and Bam. It's G League guys, it's 2-way contract guys, it's second round picks, talent guys, right? So it's what we say. It's Kyle and a bunch of G Leaguers, right? And undrafted dudes, and they just don't have the talent yet. To score, right? So if your best player right now is getting into the paint, and if he's drawing help and guys aren't hitting shots, there's not a lot you can do. And when your other best player Tyler is really going through the first rough stretch of this season, you have nowhere to generate offense other than, well, when the help comes and I kick out to a shooter, you guys got to hit. So in that Bucks game and then that Bulls game, you saw when that goes well. And I think tonight was an example. But I think despite everything that we're saying, they were super underhanded. Cleveland is totally healthy and a good team at home with a huge free throw disparity. And yet that game was competitive. And I know what Tiff's going to say. And I know they got to hit shots. And you're absolutely right. And Cleveland's a really good defense. And I know that's not an excuse.
Who you think you know?
Right.
Who you think you know?
Because you said it to me. You said it to me before the show. So I was like, the precursor. I'm not mad at the game. I thought they competed hard. I thought this is a game in the NBA regular season that you lose. And I'm proud of our guys for playing hard and for, really working through a rough patch. If they go 500 this stretch off, I'm happy.
So the only thing I was mad at, I'm mad at I'm mad at Yurt playing 3 less minutes than Dedmon.
Yeah, that can't happen.
To me, listen, if you want to win this game, Yurt doesn't play the entire fourth quarter. I'm fine with Yurt getting his reps right now, but you can get reps at 12 to 15 minutes a game. Who the fuck is Yurt? Yurt doesn't demand fucking minutes, okay? I'm a little bit mad at the KZ Dedmon minutes and the KZ Yurt minutes. So I'm like, what are we doing? You weren't really trying to win that game. And my thing is, if you're trying to get guys run, Siobhan, who are you talking to? If you're trying to get guys run, and this has been my biggest problem. Finally they played Duncan in the fourth quarter, and he didn't do anything, and it made me look bad. But I will say they are honoring. They're defending Duncan in a different way they would have defended. If you're trying to come back in the game, they're defending Duncan in a different way they're defending Max or Gabe or KZ. So having Duncan out there does help the offense, but you got to hit shots. So that's a whole nother scenario. But if you're going to be running these guys out there let's get these guys minutes, let's get them a sweat. Why are we playing Kyle Lowry 38 minutes? That's what bothers me. Because if we're trying to get guys run, then why are we?
Right. If you're going to concede it, right.
Why are we running?
If you're going to concede it,
but they're not conceding it. I think he's trying to get guys run in what he feels like are still winnable, with winnable matchups. So conceding it is absolutely taking Kyle out. I think that there's space to get Yurt some run and.
I've almost spit out his drink, dude.
For the podcast audience, someone said Kenny's actually on the show. He just hasn't connected yet.
Damn.
He's
like the loading screen. I see the loading screen at the bottom here. So
he's buffering.
Connected yet.
Yeah, I don't think that I think that he thinks that he can get them run in productive spaces where they can still do actual real life gameplay type things to make it a good game and to get good shots and stuff. You take Kyle off, it's definitely a concession. Yurt's just not ready. Someone said he moves awkwardly. He does. He's not comfortable. I don't think he's comfortable in his body.
No.
I don't think that he knows that he has his legs all the way up under him. He just isn't there. But there were ways to get the other guys minutes and still make it we're still actually trying to win this game.
Someone said I sound like I'm on reruns. You heard this rant last week. Because motherfucker, the same bullshit was happening last week. Fuck you mean? I'm not on reruns.
Heater in reruns.
On reruns. We've been I don't know what the fuck y'all want from me. We ain't got no Bam, no Jimmy. We out here down double digits in the fourth quarter
on the road,
41 minutes a game. It's a fucking problem. You know what I mean? It's bad. Why is Devin playing 23 minutes?
How many minutes did PJ play? This is where I'm starting to worry.
34. 34. Yeah.
I think we got to find somewhere to sit him. We're getting dangerous. Yeah, listen. At some point, though, you do have to make that decision. You do have to say.
At that point is your concession. That's when you're
conceding. But I would because at some point, if you literally are saying, Bam, Jimmy, Vic, Keith. You get them back, everybody's healthy, you got a run in you, a real run, not a second round run, but a real serious contention, you got to find rest for PJ. You really do.
Yeah,
I think they will. I mean, not now.
I think they're going to try to find it.
But what?
Here's my problem, Tiff. Where are you going to find it for Kyle? because you can get that rest for PJ when Bam and Keith get back, right? And maybe when Vic gets back, you can find a little rest for Kyle. But holy shit, man! Like,
but if he needs it now, then guess what? Maybe you do have to say, I got to roll out what we roll out, win or lose. Because at some point, we have no idea what the timetable will be for Bam or Jimmy. So that's why I'm not even thinking about them coming back right now.
Well, I think Jimmy. Yeah, I think Jimmy will be back soon. I mean, I think Jimmy will be back this month. I think that there's not a question.
I got a question for y'all. We'll take it around the horn, and then we're going to get to the guy of the game.
Wait, my mic is crackling?
Yeah.
It's only when you get super excited. Just calm your ass down.
That's Shade 50 in the chat.
Is that a Shore?
What?
Frankie's had the same issue as that. We could do this.
I'll ask you a question.
Sorry.
I'm like, you.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna go over everybody's equipment real quick.
Remember the IT meeting during the show?
Come on, man. See, this is why you can't produce.
I'm sorry.
If Jimmy plays, do they win this game?
Honestly,
yes.
I think no.
Yes, absolutely.
Tiff?
I think no.
Wait, are we saying if Jimmy
Jimmy's
had no
right.
ass issues, or if he was a little
issues.
hurt?
He got just one crack in his ass, not multiple.
Still no Keith, still no Bam?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
I think they do.
I think they do. I think that their issues defensively, a lot of them get fixed, especially the 3-point defense gets fixed with him. Because
does it?
Yeah,
because we also got to say we're putting him back into a lineup with people who haven't played with him or who haven't played well with him at all season. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it. Like
I totally
crazy
disagree.
amount of threes.
Huh?
Even with Jimmy on the floor, they've been giving up crazy amounts.
No,
of
but the quality of threes is different because when that man rotates and it's Gabe or KZ's rotations are just like not good, and Gabe has very crisp rotations, but he's small, and we saw this last year too when Jimmy went out in early with COVID, and when he came back, when he's at the nail or when he's kind of helping on drives and then rotating back out, the size is important. He's smart, doesn't foul, knows how to like. That they have to always make an extra pass. That corner three is not as available. And if they swing it to the wing and they get that, they might get that open. But that extra pass is important that he can force. And that makes such a difference in the game. The fact that they had Duncan guarding dudes way bigger than him. If Jimmy's in that position, Jimmy guards up a lot. They have a lot more lineup flexibility.
They've always had Duncan guarding people bigger than him, even with Jimmy in the game. And
but
I
it's
agree
not
with
for
kind
as
of what
long.
The comment was.
Of course, but if Jimmy's in the game, he's their best defensive player. I'm sorry to Bam. Jimmy is an absolute monster on defense. The passes that get thrown around him are always deflected or stolen. Like, not saying that they win in a blowout, but he absolutely accounts for like a 10-point difference. I mean, he's like a superstar level guy, and if he's healthy and he's right, then absolutely.
Yeah, 10-point difference is still a 1-point loss. I think they lose because from the forward position. I think he makes that guard wing matchup either a wash or a win. I think Cleveland adjusts and they go more and like steadier into their bigs. That's why I say no.
I mean, if you don't think that they win this game with Jimmy, then you just don't think this team's good.
Don't do that.
That's not that.
Don't do that. That's not what she said. Don't do that.
Cleveland's a good team. Cleveland's a really good team. Cleveland's a really good team. And Miami,
don't make me throw my house shoe at you.
This team has been healthy and lost to teams that they shouldn't have.
Never mind. Whatever. They suck.
When this team.
How many teams have they healthy? They went into Utah and they beat the goddamn brakes off those people. They beat the fucking brakes off Milwaukee. They beat the fucking brakes off of Dallas. They beat the fucking brakes off the Bulls. They beat the brakes off the Nets in Brooklyn.
You're naming teams that they play really like good teams. I just said I've seen them lose to teams that they shouldn't have.
Cleveland's a good fucking team. Cleveland's awesome. Cleveland's better than Chicago.
I'm not saying that they aren't, nor am I saying that they're not a good team. I just still don't think that they win this game. And it's not, again, like you said, by a blowout. It could be, you said Jimmy's a 10-point difference. That still puts them losing by 1.
I bet you if Jimmy's in the game that they don't have that shit.
Exactly, Royal. Your comment is just
when Kyle sits when Kyle sits and they don't have any offensive hub, Jimmy suddenly becomes that guy. I disagree. Like, I think Cleveland's really good, but I think Jimmy's having that good a season. And
how many more matchups do we have with them?
Cleveland, maybe 1 or 2.
I do think Cleveland's a bad matchup. Someone saying, please step in here. No, I appreciate I think if Jimmy plays, they win this game. Like, I just think you had no like, they scored 94 points tonight. They had nobody to just go inside and get them a bucket. Like, to me, the biggest thing tonight was they guarded the 3-point line really, really well because there was no inside threat. None. Zero. Omar 7 is not an inside threat. All right. Dwayne Dedmon is an inside threat off of opportunity. It's not like you can dump it down to Dwayne Dedmon. They had nobody who could get the ball. You could post up a smaller guard. Like, if you had a Jimmy switch on a guy like Garland,
the free throws,
Jimmy can punish him. We shot 9 free throws. Like, to me, you win this game if Jimmy Butler's playing. So, like, that's why I'm saying I'm not. I try not to always be like, oh, I'm not very concerned about this game, but I just like this game is a hard one to win when you have no stars, nobody to go get you relief buckets.
Well, it's also going to be hard, like you said, because of the pure matchups in itself.
Yes,
and we have to stop. Like, can't really think about Jimmy and Bam, but like guys that will still be playing in this matchup can't match up with these guys, and we've seen it twice. So you're still going to have Duncan, you're still going to have Herro, you're still going to have Max. Like, they are struggling with the speed and with the length of these young kids. So they're still going to be there. So you still have to figure out different ways because we could see them in the playoffs. So how do you still match up these guys who struggle with all these things with playing these 20-year-old boys that are just literally running up and down the court? Like, that's a big thing. And it can't just be because we have Jimmy. Like, that you can't,
One thing I will say, these 20-year-old boys running up and down the court never win in the playoffs. Like, so I know these teams always give veteran teams a tough time in the regular season. And, like, when you get to the playoffs, these guys these super athletic, super fast, super young teams, they never win in the playoffs. Like, because the game slows down, they start calling more fouls. Like, Jimmy's going to – against a team – like, if Jimmy's playing the Cavs in the playoffs, he's going to get downhill and just get Jared Allen in a shit ton of foul trouble.
So,
like, and you're missing 14 free throws a game without Jimmy and Bam. So I do think against a team like the Cavaliers, you have Jimmy, you have Bam, if you have a Keith. Like, to me, if you're playing Cavaliers, you need your front court of starting Bam and PJ, and then you need Dedmon and Keith, and no more fucking Omer 7.
Right, but you just need your front court. The question was, if Jimmy just himself comes back, do they win?
No, I think tonight they do. I do. Listen, who the fuck knows? It's all hypothetical. But
March
I
11th,
I think
their last matchup.
I think you do score more than 9 free throws.
So Garland.
Well, yeah,
Garland
you definitely get more than 9.
And that helps your defense too, because you can get set, and I think that a lot of like their in transition stuff really hurt them as well, like off misses. So, Garland was 5 for 16 today. They did a great job on him, and he's the engine of their offense. I mean, Allen was 6 for 6, and Jimmy hopes because when they did such a poor job defending the role. The Hawks are filled with vets.
I love
Nefertiti, Gallinari. Those are
I love Nefertiti, but she's saying the Hawks did well in the playoffs. The Hawks beat the Knicks that we all know right now. They're not. We know what the Knicks are, and then they beat the Sixers, who were literally falling apart from the inside out. And I do like the Hawks. I think that's
but they also
they
had a bunch of veteran moves. I mean, their best player is a young guy, but like they specifically in the offseason made moves for veteran talent because, as you know, Kevin, who's it? Whatever. Some guy at ESPN says grown-ass men win titles.
Carlos Tiana said, what do I have against Yurt? He tries. That's my problem. He out here trying. We out here playing NBA basketball, and this motherfucker out here trying. There was a play. They had a 2-on-1. Gabe is coming down. Yurt, you're 7 feet tall. Gabe draws the defender. Look for the alley. Gabe throws the alley, and it looks like Gabe threw an alley-oop out of his range. you're 7 feet fucking tall, bro. It was like he was surprised that Gabe threw him the alley, bro. Like, what are you doing? You're 7 feet. You're running to the rim uncontested. Get ready for the alley. Like, Gabe throws it, then he jumps and he like flails for it. Now Gabe looks like the asshole, and Gabe's face afterwards was like this. And you're just like, he came back, Gabe went to give him the 5. Gabe was like, one of these. Get the fuck out of here.
I tried to Google Yurt's wingspan. I said Omer Yurt7's wingspan.
Google said
how
who?
like Google gives you like the like other suggested questions. The very next one was like, is Omer Yurt7 good? Like that is
If you gotta ask Google,
Alf,
you gotta ask Google.
What do you think?
No.
What?
Is Omer Yurt7 good?
No. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe like, he will be good one day. And honestly, I get the fact. Honestly, here's my biggest problem. I'm okay with Yurt getting a bunch of minutes to see if he's worth a goddamn. I don't want him getting those minutes with Kyle getting 38. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense why that shit bothers me.
I get why it bothers you.
Yeah.
What's that?
Go ahead. I understand why it bothers you.
If we're out here gonna just play some motherfuckers who try hard, let Kyle sit. Let Kyle lose by 23 instead of 11. It don't matter. It all goes the same on the fucking scoreboard.
To make your look better, you need someone that's gonna like get him the ball. So Kyle has to be with him to like take 2, drop him off, shit like that.
Anyway, let's get to the Gaga. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Let's get to the Gaga of the game.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Eric the Great, gifting another 3 subs.
Hey, Eric.
When y'all do this shit during losses, we fucking love you guys. Like,
we appreciate y'all. Like, somebody said there's only 60-something people watching. I'm like, thank you, 60 people for watching this shit.
We're up to 100.
After that loss,
we broke 100. But thank y'all for coming through and just going through this shit with us. Like, I appreciate y'all because honestly, like, if I was just at home, I'd have turned that shit off, went to bed, mad, angry,
straight up.
Just and tossing and turning. Fucking Yurt 7. Duncan Robinson, 1 for fucking 7. I'd be like, Yurt 7, 1 for 7, Yurt 7, 1 for 7. Let's get to the gaga of the game.
I wish we had music. But did Kenny record this?
What is happening?
Did Kenny record this video?
This shit is in 0.7K, not 4K.
Oh, we hit him with
Listen, man.
What happened?
I needed a win just so this shit was replayed more. You can't play this shit on a loop after 11-point loss. But
right.
Man, that jab step got his ass.
Bro, my man was playing Twister on the floor in 480p.
And you see, he shook his head before the shot even went up. And look, and then he just shook his head like, fuck.
Right hand blue.
He's like, we got to win this game or I'm going to be on SportsCenter.
Dog.
That's why he was a plus 21 for the night.
Even the coach is like, damn, dog.
He's like, my man.
I was when that went up. I really needed that for Kyle to go in. I was like, man.
I was gonna be so upset if you missed that.
For sure.
The next one too.
But
he made the very next one after that too.
Yeah, he was really good in the third quarter. I mean, he was.
I thought he was. Look, honestly, I was.
As is the case.
I was mad at Duncan. I was mad at. He didn't play a lot in the second. He scored 7 in the first. He didn't play a lot in the second, and that's when they fucking went crazy on us. Like I'm mad at Duncan and Tyler more. Like Tyler had 2 turnovers, and I think that's a fucking lie.
No, he definitely probably had more, and he looked like his leg broke too. He ain't playing the next game.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Tyler's been bad. He's been making really bad decisions with the ball. He's been pressing a lot, really bad. Like he's been making shitty decisions with the ball because he knows that he's not playing well, so he's trying to press and get it all back at once rather than just making like steady, solid, good basketball plays, knowing that it'll come back to him that way. No, he's just trying to like do all this shit that he had. Now he's injured. But the last 3 games he hadn't been. Like, why are we pressing so much? Why are you trying so hard?
By the way, Got to give a shout out to Post Up 75 Gaga. They've been fucking unreal for what we do here. Gifted 5 tier 1 subs again during a loss. Like
thank you.
Thank you.
They specifically asked for that Kyle Lowry or Markkanen moment.
We got you. I had that unlocked though. Although I can't let Kenny. I trusted Kenny to get the video with brass out, and I guess I can't do that anymore.
Shit. I feel like Ethan Skolnick took that shit.
I mean, it would have been blurry, not pixelated. Adam Smoot.
Let's get some real basketball analysis in here. Not me yelling at Omer, you're 7, motherfucker.
1 for 7.
Can I before we get to that? I wanna kind of agree with Siobhan on a point about Lowry. I get the I get the frustration that because I've been thinking about it like the whole show that because I do think he played like a good game, especially like for him, like given what he's asked to do on this team. But I understand that like when he's the best player on the floor, and if your other scorer is not scoring, you need like for the Heat. He needs to be a more of a scorer, especially if Tyler and that's just never been who he is. He's not a scorer first guy, right? So I think now he's thrusted into a role where he's like, well, shit, I got to score, especially when Tyler's not. So I do think that sometimes when those spells of I'm not scoring really affect them because if not him, then who? Right. So I get that. Like, I'm with you there. And I also know like that's just not who he is. But I understand that like if you're a fan and you're watching that quarter go sideways and you're just like, well, where the fuck is our, almost max player? Like we need some buckets, right? And I get it. I like,
and I get too that like that's not who he is, but as a good point guard, having to be able to like take the temperature of the team
for
and,
sure,
like, know when people need. So
I didn't know that's who he wasn't.
He'll get like 22 on 50% shooting and 50% from 3. Like that's a really good game. And again, it wasn't like he did it all in one quarter. He did a little bit in the first, a lot in the third, a little bit in the fourth, but in the second, when they needed him most, he vanished. So I totally get that, and I don't want to come off as like a dude who's just fucking caping for his favorite player. Like I
That's
understand.
What you sound like.
No, I do. No, I am.
But
to an extent, I am.
Kyle Lowry's not my favorite player, but I watching the game. I never once found myself getting mad at Kyle. I was like, "Fuck you, Tyler. Fuck you, Duncan. Fuck you, Ormer."
No, me too.
Omer,
me
whatever
too.
Your name is.
Yo, Alf, shout out to the jersey in the back.
Fuck you, Gabe Vincent.
Looking at that, what's that?
I just noticed that.
Well, I sound like
Right,
my dog.
Yeah. That's clean.
I sound like Bobby Porter. Y'all see that shit?
Bobby.
Cute.
Bammy.
That's just fire, dude. I love it. Your dog is like.
I love you.
I was trying to. I bought her
licking the carpet.
No,
that's a toy.
Phrasing. Phrasing.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey. Yeah.
Oh. Go to Bond's breakdowns.
Oh, hold on. Let me break it down. So it can forever and consistently be broke.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Tiff and Siobhan are here. If not, we would have been canceled.
Yep.
She's the one that said lick the carpet.
Thank you, Queens.
I bought her an indestructible ball, and she broke it in half because she's a fucking savage.
Anyway, lick the carpet. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Hey. I wish we had Brass Jazz's music, but unfortunately, you're stuck with me.
Wait, pause. Okay,
Take me out to dinner, baby.
I got 5. The last 3 go pretty quickly. And I struggled with whether I wanted to talk about bad stuff or then good stuff because they started to play better and then they started to look like shit. And I was like, damn, I pulled good stuff. So go ahead. First thing from earlier on in the game. Go ahead. Some pause. Right in here. Okay, so you have 3 on your right side, 2-man game on your left. Dedmon sets the screen. He's going to roll. Kyle, go ahead, press play. Shoot the ball. Shoot the ball. Why the pump fake? And like that's forcing Duncan into like a shitty shot when you had the space, the opportunity to get a good one off.
He needs to work on his runner or some shit.
Yes, he should. He and Tyler should just drill it.
He's been really good for mid range too this season.
I'm sorry.
Right,
Can we talk about? I'm sorry, Siobhan. I hate doing this, but I just remembered that Brady Hawk from 5 Reasons put out the fact that he's shooting like 51% from mid range, and he's like 40% for his career.
It won't take him.
And I wish he would take more of them.
He's 45. Anyway. He's 45 for mid range.
Just take him.
I go with Brady's numbers. I think you're wrong.
I have dunks and threes open. So
Brady, this is in the third pause. So a while ago, I was talking about like ways in which to use Duncan and his presence and the attention that it attracts to open up some other stuff. And one of the ways was using him as the ball handler in the pick and roll. Miami's been doing it a bit here lately, and they opened up the third quarter with like 4 of the 5 first possessions with Duncan kind of handling it. So go ahead, clear out this right side and pause. So this works because Dedmon is drifting back. This works. This whole little setup works because Dedmon is creating space for PJ to roll. But go ahead, Duncan handling the ball, two step up that dump off that he's been really, really good at. That was the second possession of the third quarter. Go ahead. The next one, very, very similar. Clear out the right side, and just good rolls, good pass. And what Duncan being willing to handle the ball, being willing to dribble. Is this the same one or the next?
Yeah, it's the same one. I'm just replaying it.
Oh yeah. Him being able to dribble the ball and being willing to dribble, to make good passes, and to hold his dribble to set up the roll, as will be one of these last ones here, is going to open up so much for the rest of them, and just himself to get some other looks. This I thought was like the most crisp possession of offense for them this whole game, if this is what I think it is. Go ahead. It's a bunch of motion. That's a good screen across Duncan for Dedmon. Kyle comes off, dribbles this loop, pause, kicks it to PJ. PJ gives it right back immediately to him, because the speed that Kyle comes off of this handoff, and the decision that PJ made to give it right back to him. Kyle's going to go ahead. He's going to get into this up fake, kick it to PJ, give it to Dedmon. This was a really, really this was their most fluid looking sequence of the whole game. And last one, I think, go ahead. Trying to get Duncan open, right? And then pause. So the difference here between this one and like the couple two before is that rather than that dump off being immediate, Duncan's going to hold his dribble a little bit. He's going to give you a between the legs. He's just going to hold and maintain the dribble, which allows Dedmon to roll. Go ahead. This is when Dedmon gets taken out. It ends up being a broken play, but we've seen him make that quick pocket pass immediately from the little soft trap, but him being able to drag and maintain and hold it and be composed in holding it a little bit to let Dedmon roll is another small wrinkle that I think he needs to keep, and is going to keep opening up things for the rest of their sets. And that's all.
Bon, I'm really glad you brought that up, because to me there's this proclivity for Duncan to give the ball up as soon as he catches the ball. If he's not open, it's immediately a pass.
And right? A lot of times it's a good thing. Sometimes it's not. But yes.
Sometimes it's not. I don't exactly want him to sidestep to another three.
Yeah.
I want him to get in the paint. When he gets in the paint, things happen. When he like you said, when he holds the ball and maybe dribble 1 or 2 dribbles and get somebody else open, he does nice little pocket passes. He gets the ball in the paint. I just feel like sometimes he's too quick to give up the ball. And honestly, when you have Jimmy and Bam out there, I'm fine with it. Get the balls out your hand, motherfucker. You know what I mean? You ain't our playmaker. Give the ball to the playmakers. But when Jimmy and Bam aren't out there, and it's just him and Kyle,
yes,
and 3 G League guys, dude, do more. And I feel like he's starting to, but we need more, especially on the road, y'all. And I know people think it's a myth, But these guys, Strus, Vincent, fucking Omer, KZ, all these guys are going to struggle on the road.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, Duncan, you're the veteran at this point.
Red State Duncan did not show up today.
Not at
And
all.
So, I say what I say or feel how I feel about like gravity. And my general kind of thing is that it's going to ebb and flow with how well you're making shots. But responding to your presence with the ball in your hand is what's going to, or people responding to you with the ball in your hand is what's going to attract and draw people out. So if he can hold it a second, a beat longer and let the rest of the things develop, then you'll see, I think, some other things open up.
I will say this: Duncan's creeped up to 34% shooting on the year, which is kind of getting closer to.
Is that before or after tonight?
That I don't think that
It's gotta
tonight
be
counts.
before.
But he's obviously earlier he was in the 30, 31, and he's up to 34. So he's stringing together some games. I agree with everything Bon says about him, but I also think that he's. This is a new role for him, and I think he's adjusting. I think that the start has been a little slower than any of us would have liked, and I think a lot of the criticism is super fair. I also think this is his first bad game out of the last 5. So I think that is a defense that is, they were guarding him really close. A lot of them were contested threes. He was not in that Bulls game, and in the Bucks game, he was getting a lot of catch and shoot looks from penetration to kickouts. That was not the case today. It was PJ and KZ getting those kind of corner threes and those kind of kick out passes. Credit to Cleveland. They did a great job. Miami wasn't good enough on moving the ball. But
Tiff, to me, I'm not even mad at Duncan for the shooting. Like,
I'm not worried about the threes. Everybody thinks like my concern are the 3-pointers. I'm not worried about those.
But Tiff, to me, it was like all the good things you were doing, do more of them.
Keep doing
That's
that.
Where I
Just
was.
keep doing it.
Like,
You're going to be hot and cold on shooting, right? So he's going to have a night where he hits 6. He's going to have a night where he hits 2. He just has to it's the other things that I'm always talking about. Listen, move the ball, wait for the offense to set up. You can cut to the basket. Listen, I'm not mad. Try and take somebody off the dribble if you got space. Do those things. Because if Duncan starts getting an easy 6 points in the lane, guarantee you that 3-pointer is going to open up so much for him.
He's been doing that lately. Yep. And tonight they needed more of that, and he didn't do it. So to me, it's not the 1 for 7. I know I told you earlier.
He does have to marry the both of them, though.
Right.
I think if you do more of the other stuff, a lot of
the confidence.
At least 3 of that 1 for 7 was shots he had no chance of making. And the shot clock, they put him in a bad position. Blah, blah, whatever.
He took a bad one after missing the free throws, and I think that was a pride thing for him, and he missed that one. So I don't blame him for taking it. I would have done the same shit.
So that way I blame him.
Do more of the other things. Right?
I have a lot of YOLO in me. I live for the highlight.
You know what Duncan is? Sometimes to me, it's like I can do this shit well, but I'm not gonna do it all the time because if I fuck up, I don't want people to be like, "Why are you doing that?" So I'll give them a little taste here and there. Yeah. So I like somebody was saying Kyle doesn't want to fuck up his mid-range shooting. That's why he's not shooting it. So I know that's a joke.
Yes.
But like for me, sometimes with Duncan, it's like I don't want people to realize, I don't want to fuck up my dribble drives. I don't want to fuck up my layup. So I'm only gonna give y'all a little taste. It's like Duncan, we need that shit right now.
You're gonna piss us off more with this little sprinkle, this little part.
Right, we need the whole drink, not the taste.
Jimmy and Bam come back, you can chill. But right now, motherfucker, you are like without Jimmy and Bam, you are the 3rd best player on this team.
Debatable at this point.
Debatable, but you should be the 3rd best player on this team.
He should. He's the 3rd most talented for sure.
You should be. And if you're not playing that way,
that's fair. PJ has been their 3rd best player.
PJ has been their 3rd best player, but
it shouldn't be. It should be Duncan.
You should be. Has he been their 3rd best player?
Right.
No.
Right.
I mean, the other night he probably was their 2nd best player, but it's inconsistent. He's been their 4th best player most of the time without Bam. But you need to be their 3rd best player. And a night like tonight, when Tyler's not doing anything, we need more from you. And that's it.
No, you're right. I agree. But the other thing, while I keep pressing where I need to see him just get those little things and hit those free throws, because we can say all we want to say about shot percentage and how many he's taken. When this lineup is whole, he ain't getting 12 looks a game.
Right.
But
So
that's
he
it.
is going to have to start manufacturing other ways to just be competent in the offense.
I think
See,
that
like-
when everybody's
This
healthy,
is my disagreement with that. I don't want him manufacturing shit when everybody's bad. Like, don't dribble, don't do nothing. Run your ass around and take open threes.
circle,
Just
make
run.
No, but I'm
whoever's
saying
guarding you,
but
make
when-
them
Take
tired.
the defender and run his ass. In
But
circles.
notice when we had a full lineup, he had all that green grass in front of him every single night. That
was
15-foot
clanking them.
pull up, that runner, all those things there because of Jimmy and Bam. So it's like you got to be working on it.
I will say I want a little happy medium, but I don't want him doing a lot of ball handling. I just take a defender and run him around.
That
Run
drive
his
today
ass around.
when he drove and passed it behind like the little
Mhm.
round to Dwayne.
Yes.
Magic
Yes.
Robinson out there,
Tried to
bitch.
get sexy on him.
Yes.
when they're gonna be whole, like I think this is a team that clearly is not as talented as the favorites in the conference, right? Like the Bucks, and I know that Middleton got hurt today. Hope that he's okay, right? But like a team like Milwaukee, right? I mean, they have a two-time MVP, right? And then the Nets have another 2 MVPs of their own on their team, right? And not that Chicago doesn't worry me, and I'm not scared of those teams, right? But the teams ahead of them have just a talent advantage at the top. And if you're Miami, you need everybody. You need to maximize yourselves, right? Because you don't
outside
have
of Brooklyn. See, I disagree with you. Outside of Brooklyn,
because I mean, Giannis is just like Giannis can have a bad game and have 30, right? Like Jimmy can't do that.
Chris
Bam can't do that.
Middleton is
Like
talented.
Giannis can play like dog
Chris
shit.
Middleton is super
Drew
talented.
Holiday is talented.
Yeah, like
I will say that, but I will say that he'd have 4 guys out there who are at top tier talent. Like
Who's your fourth? I'm not being funny. Who's your fourth?
Tyler, when he's on and when Tyler has been one.
Tyler's talented. Whether he puts it together or not is the question.
Tyler is.
I mean, Tyler's been one of the better players in the league this year.
So then after Tyler, you drop off.
There is a drop off, but what I will, what I'll say
there's a
about
drop
the
off
Heat,
in Milwaukee too, because I
mean, there's a drop off in every team.
Bobby's out here embarrassing himself.
Like what I will say is that the Heat's roster construction, when fully healthy, it's a badass motherfucking roster construction.
Super talented. It's just how much he can give you.
Yes.
So for me, I guess what I'm trying to say is that like when they're gonna be whole, as long their dudes just have to be like good, not great, because they have so much. Like they're deep when they're whole. So but like Jimmy can't back his way into 30 points like Giannis or Durant or Harden can. Like and at the top. So like what I'm trying to say is that this regular season is for them to get into form and to figure out these kinks. So it's for Duncan to work this shit out. It's for Kyle, who appears to be working it out, right? It's for these guys to figure out how to be good so that when they're whole and when they're legitimately contending, they can win a title. Because to win a title, because this is a good team, and we're not talking about, cute second round team, lost a hard fought series. That shit's out the fucking door. There's expectations. They gotta make minimum an Eastern Conference final, and they gotta like fucking put up the fight of all time. They cannot just make the Eastern Conference Finals and pull a fucking Portland. You know what I'm saying? So like, they're good.
Please,
they got to fucking chat bad. They have to maximize the people around them to win a title because they can get to the finals. They're good enough. I don't know about y'all. I'm not fucking scared of Brooklyn. I'm not fucking scared of the Bucks. I've seen the Heat embarrass Milwaukee too many times for me to be scared of them, and I'm just not scared of the Brooklyn team. Chicago, fuck out of here. And who else is there to be scared of? Philly? Who am I supposed to be scared of in the West?
Moose,
the Warriors are good.
Sit down like 3 days ago, and I still mean it.
Siobhan, let's try, to end the show. Like, we've gone 55 minutes on the game. Like, none of us even really enjoyed watching. But what positives to take away. One of the positives that I've taken away is that they held Cleveland to 105 tonight. Like, outside of the second quarter, they had 3 quarters of really good defense. They are learning how to defend without Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. I think that is a positive because the crutch of Bam has been wild to see. Like, because when he first went out, it was like everyone's looking around at each other like, why is nobody picking up my man? Because Bam's not out there. You don't want Deadman out here trying to cover motherfuckers with gout. It's tough. You know what I mean? But I do feel like they're learning how to defend without those guys. And as long as they adopt those practices when Jimmy and Bam and Keith come back, I think that is going to benefit them in the long run.
See, I hope so, but I also feel like they've been just defending differently because with Bam, they've been doing that switch heavy shit, and they don't have the personnel to do that anymore. And so, I hope and I suspect that they'll carry these, like what it is that they're learning here over to, like you said, when those guys get back. I've been enjoying watching this team try to manufacture points. Like I've been enjoying them trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to move the ball? Where are we going to get baskets from? Those are the things that I also need to see them carry over, when they get whole. When Jimmy's back, when Bam's back, when Q's back, when Vic comes. I want to still see, like you said, the rest of, what it is that they're developing and that they're working on now. And that dudes don't take steps back when everyone else gets here. G, you were like, when they're intact, I'll say, that they have to be good, not great. I don't even want them to like kind of fall into the trap of thinking that we can just be good when we're all together. Like they still have to keep a foot on the pedal and like,
for sure,
like want to be great.
I think they need to. I think like Duncan and these guys, they need to be great to win a title because they're at a talent disparity.
But like I said the other night, the best thing to come out of this, everybody's playing. Mm-hmm. You see, you have the ability right now to see what these guys can do if called upon. Like that's the best thing. Like as where we had KZ 10 feet under in the backyard with no headstone. Listen, he
just a plot of dirt.
Right, but now we know we could put him out there with PJ and some positive things happen.
Sometimes
with PJ. Only
I said
PJ.
PJ. Nope, I said
only
PJ.
With PJ. Let's I really want to hammer this home. Only with PJ.
You are stupid.
KZ and Deadman don't give me that shit. For a second, I thought they were about to put KZ and Yurt out that motherfucker.
I had a lot of Deadman and Yurt. I didn't need that much of that either.
No, they never did.
I didn't need that either.
Did, and then the referee stopped it, and I was like, "That's a mercy rule right there." Motherfucker, Scott Foster was like, "Nigga, you sure?" Deadman and Yurt, and then PJ came off the bench. He's like, "You know what? I'm gonna make y'all wait 2 minutes to figure this shit out because this is ridiculous. You was about to put Deadman and Yurt out this motherfucker."
But look at it now, and we also like we've seen more opening to Deadman, like more things that he can do. He can get out there and like, oh my god,
they roasted
G.
I know. It's okay.
G, what room is that in your house?
This is my studio,
hostage room.
So I don't have much, right? I have the door. I have the closet.
Door.
My Roomba's in the corner. So I
see those chains on the floor.
I have a couple decorations. So I just recently got my Musashi Miyamoto Nendroid, right?
God.
So I have
What
that.
the hell is that?
That's Musashi Miyamoto. Like she's good, right? So I have her.
Tree.
I have my Morgan Le Fay poster that I'm gonna hang up. This is Morgan from.
What are we doing?
Fago. Let's we'll full screen this. This
Wait.
is
I'm too old for this shit.
She's great. Yeah, I love her.
Tiff,
Very
we were
soft
trying to help this motherfucker out with his dating profile. You see what the problem is? It ain't the profile. It's what they